This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.
The TalkSport Fan Network is proud to be partnering with Lotto from the National Lottery. You know that Lotto's basically the OG millionaire maker, right? You can get involved and play every Wednesday. Crazy. Imagine you won this Wednesday's jackpot. How wild would that be? Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
Yo, UK! At BetMGM, we give our players sports betting entertainment like nobody's business. Football, horse racing, darts, boxing, tennis, golf, NFL, NBA. You name it, we got it. Offers? You know it. Bet £10 and get £40 in free bets. BetMGM, it's showtime.
New customers only. Exclusions apply. 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly.
Good evening all, it's Monday night and welcome to our very special Christmas edition of the Tilton Talk Show, sponsored by AMG Logistics. I'm Paul Hipkiss and tonight I'm joined by the chairman, Alan Watton.
Good evening, everyone, and a Merry Christmas.
Without anything to do with Christmas apart from the white beard.
Exactly.
Mr. Road Mark Adams, without the road.
Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's okay.
And a Christmas jumper he stole off somebody.
Aye.
And with a festive jumper that says festive, Claire Giblin.
Good evening.
Mark Meredith, Sergeant Mark Meredith Pepper from Dallas.
Good evening all.
The elf himself, Mr. Fixer Craig Courtney.
I am the elf on the shelf, and good evening, everyone.
And with the spotty jumper, I think it is.
No, hang on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How'd you get them jumpers with yourself on?
Something special.
Made to order.
The one and only Chris Browne.
Good evening. Oh, where's the applause?
And our very special guest for tonight, I'm delighted to say, we're joined by the club's honorary vice president, Mr. Mike Wiseman.
Woo.
Good evening, and thanks very much for the invite.
Pleasure, Mike. Pleasure, and loving the jumper. I think you've got the best jumper out of all of them.
I agree.
Fresh from the club shop.
Yeah, there's mine. So yeah, another good week for Blues. 6 wins on the trot now in all competitions. A good 2-1 away win last week at Exeter in the Virtue Cup, and then followed by 2-0 win at home to Bristol Rovers. And yeah, Mike, what did you think then? I know obviously you wasn't at Exeter last Tuesday, but I presume you watched it, and then we'll come on to your thoughts on Saturday's game as well. I thought we were good in the first half, weren't we, on Saturday? But let's start with Tuesday, and then we'll come on to Saturday.
Well, I think given the number of changes, and I feel confident this season, because I think the one thing we'll outgun the others with is the size of our squad. And I think the fact Chris could make so many changes and we could still put up quite a credible performance. And then, of course, we then reverted back on Saturday to near a full strength side. I thought the first half we were awesome against Bristol Rovers. We could have had a lot more goals. And I think probably took our foot off the gas a bit in the second half. But I think he's, very much thinking there's quite a big fixture pile-up coming. And I think if we can win games and conserve effort, it's probably the right tactics to adopt, really, with this heavy fixture load. And with the, we've got, Stevenage, Cambridge, we've got the away game at Swindon coming up. So there's a lot of games, really. But I think we've got to be pleased, really. And we're keeping more clean sheets as well, which I think Shrewsbury was a big wake-up call, really, because, we're very sloppy that day. And I think maybe in Bielik to right back and everything, it's definitely tightened it up.
Yeah, definitely. It's made a big difference, hasn't it? Yeah. Since changes to the team, it's, we're like a different team altogether. And have you known in your time, Mike, us be any sort of stronger strength in depth-wise? It's got such a good squad of players, Anybody can come in the team and do a job. Yeah. Even in my time so far, I'm struggling to think of a time where, we obviously you can go back to the Premier League and everything, but even then, we didn't have this much strength in depth, did we? Well, no, you think, I was at Barnsley when Cochrane went. I thought, Mike, because we have been very reliant on him, but Buchanan was superb, wasn't he? What a goal he got. And you almost get the feeling now, if somebody gets injured, in a way, you don't like to see it happen, obviously, and hope they recover as soon as possible. But you then think, well, it's giving somebody else a chance. And the one I feel a bit sorry for is Mark Leonard, because I don't really think he's put a foot wrong, but the two Oriental lads in midfield have just been amazing. And yeah, so it's no, I agree with you. It's there's a lot of quality in depth. Yeah, definitely. And I made my debut in the fan park on Saturday as well before the game, and I thought that was absolutely amazing. And we bumped into Beau Brummie, me and my daughter. My daughter had a photo with Beau and Belle Brummie, and I even asked Beau Brummie if he prefers his makeover or the way he looked before, and he just went,
Was that Cranker?
Yeah. And Craig, obviously you bumped into someone very special, didn't you, as well, not long before kick-off on Saturday?
Thanks.
Well, you're right, actually. I did bump into Robe, and
oh yeah, you did.
I bumped into him and then asked the police to kick him out. So they unfortunately, they didn't listen to me. But yeah, of course, bumping into yourself, Paul, as you were getting into the ground. But I think, Saturday was just brilliant because there was just that going into it, the thought that nothing but a win was going to happen. And caught with a couple of Bristol fans as well, and they were just like, if we get away with a 0 in our score, we're going to be happy. They just weren't. They didn't think they were going to get anything out of it. And of course, now the curse has struck. So yet again, play Birmingham, lose the game, lose your manager. It continues to happen. But I think to go back on what Mike said there, the strength in depth that we have in this squad is unreal, and I don't think I could really name another season where it's been as strong as what we have at the moment, with the availability of the players just to come in and slot into the team. And yeah, I mean, it just the weekend really, really showed that, because we were you got to 60 minutes, you knew the change was going to happen, and whilst the team became, for me, just a little bit unbalanced once we'd made a couple of subs, there was never a time when you thought to yourself, we're going to concede 2 goals here.
No.
And that's been the case. And down at Exeter in the Cup, I mean, the thing was, we could quite easily have run away with it. But again, didn't really get out of second gear for me in that game. And that's the way it needs to now continue. I am still waiting, as is everybody else, for us to hit that 5th gear and absolutely pummel a team. And I still think it'll come.
Yeah, it will.
You look at Wickham. I mean, the difference with Wickham is they are, at the moment, unreal in front of goal. They're just scoring goals for fun. They're building their goal difference. We've still got that game in hand. 2 over Wrexham. Those will come in handy. But I do think we've just got to start putting teams to the sword now, and don't take the foot off the pedal when we're on top of them. Go for the jugular and go for the goals. Hopefully, my prediction comes true, which is it's going to be Boxing Day. And I still think that it could well happen and give us a proper Christmas present.
Yeah. Now, did you get a woolly hat when I seen you? Because you look cold. I think you've made a bit of a score.
Oh, man. Made the ultimate boo-boo there. Come out thinking it was lovely and yeah, got to the ground and was absolutely freezing cold. No, I didn't. But when I was inside the stadium, I was all right, surrounded by good company. That's the main thing. And yeah, it's the celebration, nice and early. Definitely warms you up, and you don't lose the heat once you've scored a goal, do you? So
no, not at all.
It was all right after that, but yeah, learn from a mistake. Big coat's come out the cupboard. Big coat is staying out from now on.
Yeah, definitely required as well. So, but yeah, Claire, your thoughts, please. Obviously, go back to Tuesday and Saturday.
Yeah, I just thought Tuesday is nice to see a lot of different players playing. I think it's nice to see that we can do a whole squad rotation and we still play the same way, which shows that it's ingrained, really.
Yeah.
I do believe that Leonard should be given a chance sooner rather than later. I think he would be a big miss if we lost him because he's not getting game time. I know we've got 5 games in 13 days, so you're going to have to change it around a little bit. But I thought, again, it was good goals on Tuesday. I thought Saturday was one of the easiest games I've seen us play. I think they were, how we didn't beat Northampton, and I think they're on the same par as them. But again, I think I saw you, Craig, as well, and I saw you, Robe. And
did you ask the police to get rid of Robe as well, Claire?
Pardon?
Did you ask the police to get rid of Robe as well?
No, I was just about trying to get in.
I did go past the club shop incidentally and tip off the security guard to say don't let him in because he nicked stuff. So
is that what
he wanted the new jumper, didn't he?
He did.
The chainsaw for him to get that tag off. Was that
No, I thought they were firm but fair on Saturday.
It was good. I thought that we started really bright, and what's good is that at the moment it's the clean sheets as well, because I do think goal difference is going to be a massive part of this. I think I do think we'll run away with it, but I think that Wycombe and Wrexham at the moment, they're holding on.
Yeah.
I think that the next 5 games are going to be massive. They are winnable. But like going to Crawley on a Monday night, and then we've then got a few tough games. So, and it was nice to be at home.
Yeah. The home games this season, it feels like forever ago, doesn't it? The last one before.
Yeah, I think it was nice to actually leave the house at like 12 instead of like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. So, yeah, I'm really pleased. I just think, again, Iwata and Paik were just immense. Billick at right back was good. I think Buchanan just slots in. And I mean, fair play to him for his goal. And I think we're finally starting to see the first team. I mean, obviously Cochrane would normally be there, but got Buchanan as a replacement. You can't go wrong, can you really?
No. I think one player as well that deserves a shout out is Ben Davies at the back as well. He gives us that balance with being left-footed, and he's pretty steady, isn't he? I think he's a good defender, and you can see why he's played a lot of games at a higher level in the Championship, can't you, Alan?
Indeed. I just like to say that the 2 games bored me to tears, and I'm getting tired. No, seriously.
Believed it then.
I don't.
You're getting bored of winning. That's what you want to say, isn't it, Mr. Chairman?
No. I tell you, Tuesday night, I enjoyed that game because we made 10 changes. I'm looking at it saying, what can these guys do? And they did it. They did what they had to do. And I from that point of view, yes, we should have scored more goals, whatever. But we never looked like losing. Saturday, I thought, this is it. After 20 minutes, we're going to get 5 or 6 here. And it died out. And if you say to me, how many 2 nuns would you take? I'd say about another 20, please. And, you can't be greedy anymore. Can you, as you say, we got a load of games coming up. We took play. In fact, what we did, we declared, didn't we? We're 2-0 up. That'll do. We took both our strikers off, which I found a bit strange. We're going to put Dukey on. He needs a bit of support. The poor bloke was on his own. And okay, we just put the shutters up. Thank you very much. 3 points. Thanks for coming. Goodbye. And I can see a lot of that happening. We don't want another Peterborough situation and suddenly find ourselves 2 goals down. Okay, it's a great game. We come back and won it. But, I don't want to see that every week. I want to see us 3-0. 3-0 every week. Clean sheet, 3 points, 3 goals. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. But 2-0 will do. 2-0 will do. The game itself. I think, to be fair, Bristol Rovers improved as the game went on. I mean, they didn't know the rear end from the backside, to be honest, in the first 20 minutes. But they managed to stick feet in the way, get a headed block here and there. Goalkeeper flapped and it got cleared and so on. It could have been a massacre, but I don't know. We the more we get in front, the more elaborate we try and play. We mustn't let go of possession. We'll pass it round and round and round and round to make sure we don't lose, but we don't then create enough pace up front to open their defence up. But if that's why we're going to do it, I'm there. I criticise nobody for that.
No, absolutely not. And talking about earlier meeting great people before the kick-off, I bumped into, shout out to Lee Malin and the Garrison Coffee Company. And if no one's tried his hot chocolate, please do, because it was absolutely delicious, really nice.
Hot chocolate and his coffees are just good.
Coffees are beautiful.
And I'd love to see him back into the COP, may I add, because we do miss him round in that COP area. with no hot drinks. So it'd be good to get him back around there from the main stand.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was there on Sunday as well, and absolutely, second to none his service. I know he does a lot up at Wastills, and I know he's listening this evening. So evening, Lee.
Yeah, evening, Lee. Yeah. So, but anyway, Mark, Meredith, give us your thoughts, mate.
Yeah, just gotta echo everybody else. I suppose I think it was comfortable throughout. Tuesdays first. I thought, just nice to see the change and gets you excited to see different players play, as Alan said. Saturday was comfortable. I think the only disappointment was probably not getting a third and fourth and maybe a fifth. Just being a little bit more clinical in the final third once we get those 2 goals. But yeah, listen, it's another win. We move on again, and I think Michael said it at the start. The big thing now is our squad, because you look at it and we play 23rd, 26th, 29th, 1st, 4th, 11th, 13th. So it's a massive time now coming into middle of January. There's 2 cup games in there. So do we still have a cup run? And there's 4 or 5 important league games. So really just keeping our front foot forward. I think nice thing about it is, we talked about Leonard. We've got Taylor Hickman, Gardner Hickman, that's done a great job every time he's played. I think now Dukey's coming back in there and Dykes is there. It gives you a little bit something different in the final third when you don't have Stansfield and May. Hansen's on his way back, who I thought did well at the start of the season. So just excited to see that, every game now, I look forward to, 2:00, 2:15 when the team comes out, just to check out what he selected that game. And I do have full trust in almost, 99.9% of what's on the pitch at the time.
Yeah, no, definitely. And Robe, last but not least, Robe.
But yeah, going back to the Exeter game, the lads work the socks off, and like we've all said, it's brilliant to see the fringe players getting their chance. Saturday, I think it could have been like a Southampton and Spurs. I honestly thought we'd get 4 by half time. Bristol Rovers weren't the toughest test. They are a poor side, but even so, you can only beat what's in front of you. And like Mark just said, it's not a chore anymore. You look forward to every game because there's 99% chance you're going to see 2 or 3 goals. I'm just excited that Wembley's a little bit closer as well. We're 90 minutes now from a quarter final, and that's massive. Obviously, the league's more important, but to have the 2 sort of side by side, it can only it can only get better. Do we need to strengthen really as well? A lot of people are saying different sort of players have been mentioned and transfer rumours, but I think we don't need to make massive changes just yet, do we? There's an opportunity in January to strengthen a little bit, but I wouldn't.
Yeah. I think that team that we put out on Saturday, apart from Cochrane, and it's you could even put Buchanan if Ben Davies was to be given a rest when Cochrane's back, then you could put Buchanan where Ben Davies is and play them both.
Well, he's versatile, Paul, isn't he?
Yeah,
like say Buchanan can play across the back. So yeah, there's not a lot to sort of mess with now, is there?
No, I think that's our best 11 now, all bar injuries or whatever, and obviously congestion of fixtures and giving other players a game and resting people. But for me, that on Saturday, that team we put out, apart from Cochrane had always been my team.
Yeah.
He's our strongest 11, but I wouldn't mind a marquee signing again on the right wing. I know we've got Hansen to come back, but he was playing more left, and Keshe has been fantastic, by the way, this season. He's been brilliant. But we're going to splash the cash again in January, then somebody like Morgan Whittaker for me from Plymouth would be a good signing if we could get him. But yeah, somebody like that would be good if we can spend a few more £1 million on somebody that's going to improve us in certain areas. But it's hard to see any weaknesses other than that in the team, isn't it? What do you think, Mike?
I'll be interested to get an update on some of the younger players, because I wonder how far off Alfie Chang is. Because I loved him when he came in. He's got a little bit of nastiness about him in terms of putting his foot in, but he very competitive player. And of course, Ramel Donovan's come back from Burton, and he was very impressive, wasn't he? So, and I don't, George Hall, is he on loan for the season? I'm not sure.
No, he's injured again, hamstring.
Oh, is he? Oh, right. Because it's a shame, because he was starting to show some form. But But I'm sure they've got one or two signings in mind, because I think they wanted to keep the momentum going.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm confident that even if we didn't sign a single player in January, we should still win this division with the squad we got.
Still champion, yeah.
I think the main thing is we've got the firepower up front with Jay. Be made. I think goals win games, don't they? Really, and I think as long as you've got the striking, and this is where we've fallen apart in the past, where we've just not had enough striking options up front. So
yeah.
I think it's interesting the rumours on Nathan Redmond.
Yeah.
I got to be honest, he's got unfinished business at Birmingham. I'd love to see him back. I know he's going to be a fringe player, but I think, given his opportunity, he's the type of player you want to bring off the bench, because he's still got a goal in him. He's still wicked on the wings, and we're seeing Juki more and more and more. All I can say is, if you not anybody noticed, since he's been on Tilton Talk, he's been in the squad each time, and
I'll take that.
Yeah, pass it on, Claire. Pass on the love. But he's doing really well. And again, when he came onto the pitch, there was the fans still backing him and everything else. And I think everybody now wants to see him scoring that goal. We want to see that goal into the Tilton. That marquee header, which nearly came, except not in the air this time. God, he was diving on the floor.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see some players. Then, if they do come in, I agree with bringing in the youngsters, but we've also got to make sure we've got a good balance of knowledge and expertise in the game as well. So I would like to see, if it is true, the rumour, I would like to see Nathan back in a blue and white shirt. And coming back out onto St Andrews and finishing the job that he ultimately started. Albeit, I think it'll be a loan if he does come back. But I think that'd be good. And there's young centre half that's been muted as well, isn't there? From
Newman.
Yeah, and that one again, you're building for the future, but we've got to build a squad now that is not only capable of getting into the Championship, but holding its own in the Championship. Dare we say, could we do an Ipswich? I mean, I'd love nothing more, but then also I think to myself, sometimes you want to go up, consolidate, and then go again. Build us a squad that's going to get us into the Premier League and then hold us in the Premier League, not somebody that's going to struggle, or we've got to go out and spend tens of millions on a squad when you go up. Because actually, it's about consolidating in there and get a couple of seasons behind you, and then you're well away. Jesus, dare to think this, but we go too quickly, you could end up like the Southamptons. I mean, they looked extremely poor the weekend, and they look as though they've gone already. And that's that. I know they've got rid of the manager now. In fact, it was a proper silly weekend, wasn't it, for manager changes? But I don't want to be in that position. I'm thoroughly enjoying what's happening at the moment, and you don't want to lose that feel-good factor as a fan. And I think the only way is to get it back up, consolidate, go again. But hey, knowing our owners, they'll go and spend millions again in January, or if not, there'll be something planned for the summer. But let's wait and see.
One player we didn't mention earlier as well is Scott Wright, isn't it? Another right winger. So he's got to come back in the fold as well. So, and he's a good player as well.
I just jotted down players who are not available at the moment: and Wright, Hansen, Cochrane, Dykes, and Chang. Now, we've said, and I'm not disagreeing with you at all, Paul, that we've probably got our best side out at the moment. But if you
Alan Stamstead as well, right?
Stamstead, Stamstead,
another team.
Yeah.
Who I rate highly. I think he's a very accomplished defender. He might not be as sensational going forward, but as a defender, he's spot on. And what's going to happen when all these blokes get fit?
Yeah.
There's some of the shadow squad that have been playing in the cups are not going to get in that team.
No, there's going to be some departures, isn't there?
Yeah. Now, big shout out to those that did the sleep out on Saturday evening as well. Do we know how much they raised?
From what I understand, I mean, the money's still coming in at the moment, but the original target of 80,000, I don't think is far off with everything that was done. And on that, actually, I've got to say a huge thank you to everybody from Solihull Blues. We're now not far off raising £4,000 for that event. And we actually had one member, Ollie, huge shout out to him, and the donation from him and his company, because it helped us massively to get things over the line. But it just, that event across the whole of the weekend goes to show what our fan base is all about. We are a family club. We are a mixed cultural club. And Saturday we saw it with the fans down there. Sunday, and we'll come on to the ladies in a bit, but equally as good. And seeing the families and hearing one particular comment, I loved it, right? It's two lads going in to the ground. They're walking in. They've got their Birmingham City bags because they've been to the club shop, and they're going in. And their first words, "Oh my God, look at this stadium. This is the first time I have ever been." And it was just, their faces were just absolute pictures. And that is also down to the ownership of the club and what they've done to turn things around and get people back in there, because they're the future. They're the ones that we want to attract. So get them down to the ladies, next to the men's, and then that's it. Because let's face it, how many people go down St Andrews and then never ever go back? There's not many. Because once it's in your blood, it's there forever.
Absolutely. And I must admit, when I walked in the fan park on Saturday, I kind of just paused and thought to myself, is this really us? It's like looking around, and it's a fan park, I know, but it's just so special in there, and it just gives you a great vibe. And just pinching myself standing there thinking, it's only sort of 2 years ago that we were looking like we were in the doldrums. Do you know what I mean? So full credit to the owners and what they've done in such a short space of time. It's absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, go on.
Paul, we aspired to the doldrums. We were looking up at the doldrums.
Yeah. But no, full credit to everyone that did the sleep out, and obviously credit massively to Chris Davies as well and Craig Gardner for joining in as well. And I hope everyone's caught up on their sleep.
They needed it. From what I've heard, there were people still awake at 2 o'clock in the morning after they partied the night away. I believe that Mr. Gardner was on form and bought everybody chicken nuggets, which is just, that's perfect. And I know he definitely made Stacey's night because she had a cold head, so he handed over his hat. So, you know what I mean? There's all these different things. But again, to come back to the owners, that is just one part of what they've done. There's all the other things in the background.
Yeah.
The 1875 bus service that's running to and from the ground. The fact that I've just done a 2-match trial with Solihull for running a service from the town centre to the ground and back. All of these things you just never, ever would have thought about 18 years, 18 months ago. You just never would have thought it was happening. It was more of, what do we have to catch a bus? Do we have to go to the ground? Now everybody's looking forward to it. And this time of year as well, it just goes to show how much love is there for the owners and everything else. But also, let's not forget the people that work inside the club as well, because there's a lot of people that are inside there that they're the silent heroes. They're the people that keep it going when we're not there match days. The ticket office staff have been phenomenal. The stewards and the people around the ground, so much better. The kiosk staff, the whole thing, the way this has changed is just unreal. And Claire, I know Holly went with you. She hadn't been since all of these changes have taken place, and said to me straight away outside, my God, what a difference things like the screens and that make. But what did she think of it inside?
Oh, just amazing. Obviously she does a one game a year.
Don't tell people why, Claire.
I just couldn't believe it. I go on about it a lot, and I will tell her and be part of the men's match day experience. And it's nice for our group as well to see it all happening. And we work with John and Paris, who are like the linchpins of it, and the whole group end up saying different things, and then we can see it happening as well. So it is great. I mean, we went into fan zone again We went in when it first opened, and I think it was even better the second time. Like how quick you got a drink, how quick the food is. My one thing would be is to make the table smaller, because to me you could probably fit more people in there, but that's just my one gripe. But otherwise, like even remember at the top of the Tilton when you used to have to wait about 15 minutes to get served. Now, because everyone gets served, everything's quicker and the screens are better. I mean, even the tannoy is better at the moment, and Wi-Fi. So yeah, it's great, and really enjoyed it, and it's nice to get a win as well.
Yeah. So Mike, on you, mate, our special guest for the night. I want to go back in time. Mike. So I want you to take us to the very beginning and how Birmingham City Football Club became such a special part of the Wiseman family, please. It all started with your granddad, was it?
Well, he did. It started off when he was a young boy, and this is when we played at Munt Street. And he used to wait outside for the players to come, and he used to carry the bags so he could get in for free. And anyhow, he developed, obviously became a fan, and he set up quite a big plumbing business. And at the time, Birmingham was controlled by all the builders. There was the Dares, the Morrises, and so it culminated in 1928. He got invited to become a director. So he became a director, and then he did other things. He got involved with the England setup in the FA. He used to do the FA Cup draw many years ago.
Okay.
And he was quite a familiar voice. But then my father came on the board in '56 as a director, and then in '93 I got on the board as well. I was invited by Karen Brady, so it was quite a coup. And then I stood down in just after we won the Carling Cup in 2011. Carson Young wanted his son Ryan to come on the board, so I agreed to that. So they gave me the position of the honorary vice president. So I think it should be honorary president of vice, but anyhow, that's just a brief synopsis. But it's been a very long-standing association, really.
Yeah,
and,
fantastic. Very.
I think my only regret was that they, if I got one regret, is that they saw, well, obviously 31 and 56. They saw that, but they weren't alive in 2011 to see us beat Arsenal. Actually to win a well, they saw us when we can I say this word, when we beat the other load in was it 61? I think it was on a two-leg basis, but it wasn't quite the same then, the competition, but it's elevated to much greater status. So
yeah. You remember your first game, Mike?
I do. My dad was actually quite keen on me because where I went to school, we played sport on a Saturday, and he actually wanted me to play sport. He was very keen on that, which I think is good parenting, really. But I think I was about 9 or 10, and we played Leicester City at home in a cup match, and we lost 2-1. I remember Derek Dugan scoring for Leicester. He was playing for them. I think it was around about 64, 65 time. And then you. Just like you said, it obviously is very different then, but you go down and you get the bug, don't you, really? And of course, the other luck I had was, I witnessed Trevor coming on board because we're roughly the same age. And, that was, as a teenager, it was very exciting to see, such a wonderful talent come through, really. And so that was it, really. It's, I had a spell abroad for a while, but, still kept tabs and still flew back for games and did daft things. And I was at University of Sheffield and worked out the trains, how to get back and everything. But it's in your blood, isn't it, really?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you must have been privy to a lot of, obviously, seeing a lot of good stuff behind the scenes all over the years. And
and bad stuff.
Yeah. Anything you can share with us, maybe on the funny side, being the Christmas special? Any funny stories you can tell us that you've witnessed?
Well, the one I did love was about my grandfather forgive me if you've heard this one before, about the Leyton Orient game when we got promoted. What happened was we played and we were neck and neck with Millwall to go up. And it was the all important game was at Brisbane Road against Orient. And we needed, I think we needed to win to go up, and it meant we'd go up rather than Millwall. And of course, not being far away from Millwall, there was quite a big Millwall presence there that night, and we managed to. Well, we scored. It was quite late on. It was a corner by Gordon Taylor. Bob Latchford headed home. The Millwall fans then tried to get the game postponed by invading the pitch, but the referee was just brilliant. He said, "I'll finish this game even if it goes on till midnight," and then we won the game. And then, of course, to further something the win. there was a bomb scare, which obviously was a hoax, but they couldn't ignore it. So the whole main stand had to be evacuated, and the players had to come out in the towels and everything. Absolute chaos. And we couldn't find my grandfather. And he'd gone into the dressing room with a case of champagne to celebrate. And he loved his fizz, and he'd opened the first bottle, was knocking it back. And he was in his 80s. And a policeman said, "I'm ever so sorry, sir, but we've got to evacuate the stand. There's a bomb scare." And he said, "Well, young man," he said, "look," he said, I understand what you're doing, but he said, I'm in my 80s. He said, "I've just seen my team get promoted to Division 1 after a long time. Got a glass of champagne in my hand. Can you think of a better way to die?" Poor bloke. And he came out. We overheard him talking to the sergeant. He said, I've got an impossible situation here. There's an elderly gentleman. I just can't get out." So in the end, then, of course, it was just obviously somebody out of spite had made this phone call. Sorry. And they went in, and I think he got through at least one bottle. I think he was well into the second, and I think they had to virtually carry him out the dressing room afterwards.
Oh, brilliant. That's a great...
Yeah. And the other story about Jack was he was the engineer of getting Doug Ellis off our board, because Doug joined the board, and I must say, a very, very clever man, ruthless, but tremendous businessman, and I don't think we could ever knock that away from him. But he came onto the Blues board, and he's obviously got thoughts of taking control. And at the time he was with us, he was very, very good as well. He lots of good ideas, very, very bright man. But at the same time, the Villa were in crisis. They had a guy called Norman Smith who was the chairman, who was actually a lovely man. And I hope I won't get down in your opinion, but we did actually go to the old Villa game, my dad and I. It was quite a different relationship then. But he had lost the plot, and they were down to about 10, 12,000 gates. They were in a really bad way, and Doug saw the opportunity that was there to take over the Villa. So while he was on our board, he was actually negotiating to buy Villa. And anyhow, Jack got tipped off about this, and so Doug was a very full-on guy. He liked to go in the dressing room afterwards, and I think we played Southampton and won about 3-2. I think a really good game. We'd gone there, and he was in the dressing room with all the players and the manager and everything, and doing this. And so Jack told my grandfather, all the elderly, he said, "I want you all gone." And Doug walked up into an empty boardroom, and there was Jack waiting for him. And Jack said, "I think we need to have a chat."
Absolutely.
I'm not going into too much, but it got a bit tasty. But to cut a long story short, Doug signed a document resigning that night, and then, of course, took control of the Villa. But, and to be fair to Doug, some might argue perhaps if he had taken the control of the club, we might have done bigger and better things. I don't know really, but I just thought my dad felt you don't switch, do you? Really, you're one or the other, and so
no, definitely,
yeah. And then just one final story myself, and I must shut up then, let you talk. But obviously Carson Young came on board, and I actually found him quite good fun, really. I also had quite a few good drinks with him and everything, but he was never the billionaire. He was obviously a front for somebody, I'll never understand Chinese business structure, but anyhow. But he was quite a fun guy. But when he came, I was the only director that remained, so we had a big press ceremony. I actually handed him a shirt, with Young on, and there was lots of pictures, and it was quite a popular picture. Well, when he got arrested and put inside for money laundering, luckily it was only on Sky News overseas, not here, thank God. But the picture they used on Sky News overseas was this picture of him and I saying he'd been arrested. So all my friends on holiday kept getting texts and saying, "How many years have you got?" So that was a bit embarrassing. But no, that's it in a nutshell. So no.
Brilliant. Yeah, it's back at that time now. It's a bit surreal, isn't it? Where we are now to where we was then.
Yeah. I just wanted to comment. The other thing is, first of all, can I congratulate you all, because I always try and watch the show, and I do tell people at the club, it's a wonderful barometer of fan opinion, because I think you're all very good. Your glasses are definitely half full rather than half empty, and it's and whenever you criticise, it's always very constructive and good. It's well worth listening to. But I'm sorry, I just lost my train of thought.
That's what we do.
Appreciate that, Mike. Thanks.
Yeah, no, it's I was going to say, sorry, I know I was talking about something else, but could I just go through all of you, really? Because I think, I've been talking about myself, but, obviously, Paul, you're the compere. You host this show very well indeed. Chris, you do a wonderful job on the technical side, I believe. You've got your studio there. We can see you in, but put a hell of a lot of hard work to get this show running. Craig, obviously, I know well. You're running the Solihull Supporters Club, which I think is an amazing success. And how many members are you up to now?
I think just this evening I have topped the 300 paid members. I think I've just waited for confirmation, but I'm pretty certain it's topped it now.
Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant. And then Claire, well, you're amazing because you assist Craig, I believe, in running the Supporters Club. Is that right? And then you're on Blues Matters, and is it her game too? You all that. So that's a hell of a lot of time and effort you put in. And do you enjoy all these involvements, or?
Oh, of course I do, yeah. It's the people that make it, though, and it's the friends you make on the way. So,
yeah.
And yeah, going home and away and everything else, it's fun. So sometimes we have a drink, don't we, Mike, and meet up in service stations.
Oh, no, I know. Well, you always put me right. But no, but honestly, you think just going to the games, that takes up a massive chunk of time. And I know you've got a responsible job as well. But to do all these other bits and bobs, I think is phenomenal. So, well done. The chairman now, I believe you travel up from East Sussex, is it?
I do, yes. I've lived down here 11 years now, and I kept my season ticket going. Over the last few years, it's been more and more difficult to get there.
Yeah.
And I can really only get there on a Saturday now, which is this season has been once a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I say to people, if I only see 10 games, I've got my money's worth from my season ticket because it's such a good value. I mean, if I didn't go at all, I'd still buy one every year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I travel 400 miles in about 9 hours every Saturday, and it's a great trip up. It's wonderful. I'm full of excitement and I sleep most of the way because I've got up at 6. It's hard work coming back. It really is.
Do you have anybody to travel with at all, or?
No. There is a Sussex supporters club, but unfortunately they all live the other side of Brighton.
Oh, right.
And for me to join up with them, it'd take me as long to get to them as it would to get to the match. To be honest, I spent a long time the other week talking to some Northampton supporters who told me that if we didn't get 5, we went.
The TalkSport Fan Network is proud to be partnering with Lotto from the National Lottery. What would you do if you won £1 million this Wednesday? I mean, would you roll up to the game this weekend in a brand new ride, picking up your mates like some VIP chauffeur? Or better yet, scrap the car altogether and book out the entire first-class train carriage for you and all your mates? I'm talking champagne flowing, your own private waiter, the whole squad living it up on the way to the match. Now that's an entrance. You never know, you may be the next millionaire. Lotto's all about those once-in-a-lifetime moments. Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
At BetMGM, we know how to put on a show. So we don't just do offers, we do golden offers like this.
MGM Millions, our supersized jackpot where right now you could win over £21 million.
Get ready for the golden era in online casino. BetMGM, it's showtime.
Minimum 10p game stake. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly.
Stuffing, basically. Yeah. And the same, I very often end up chatting to the away support. The other thing, of course, very often the Albion are at home the same day, and I get to talk to their opponents. So yes, it passes. Going there passes very, very quickly. But I do remember coming home on the train after the defeat against Bournemouth, and I got on the train at London to get down here, and West Ham had played later, so their supporters were getting on the same train as I was on, and they'd beat Manchester City.
Wow.
And there was a Manchester City fan sitting in front of me, and these West Ham people started taking the mickey out of him. And I couldn't help but listen to what they were saying and smiling. And I just suddenly thought, I hope one of them don't say, and who do you support, mate? Because we just lost 8-0. And that was a bit of a strain.
Oh, absolutely. And then Mr. Mark Meredith, you run the Dallas Supporters Club, I believe. And have we got many members there, or?
You're looking at him.
You're looking at him.
we have a few, but actually it's getting more known now, obviously with our owners and stuff here in the States. So it's always been difficult because everyone's looked at you. I wear my shirt quite a lot. And people used to look at you like, who is that? But now they,
You mean that shirt you got on?
Oh, yeah, well, just come from the palace, mate. Up there. But no, so yeah, it used to be that. It used to be who's Birmingham, but now it's more. Oh, that's Tom Brady's club, or that's this and that. So people know now who we are, which is nice.
In fact, because I've got some American friends who live over here, and they've actually told me they go back regularly to the States, and they said, "You won't believe it. We actually start to see your shirts, things. It's people are starting to realise who Birmingham City are. So which is going to be good. So keep up the good work, keep spreading the word, and finally we've got the other Mark, Mr. Mark Adams, and I believe you do charity work. Is that right? You've raised money for charity, and
well, he had his own.
It's the free Mark Adams charity, or pay £5 and he gets a friend for life. That's coming from the viewers as well. That is.
Yeah. I just have to be honest, Mike. I mean, Craig threw me some chips up Digbeth one day, and I just followed him up the Blues. No, I'm only joking. No, I just try and help when I can. Really, I've had a season ticket. I'm actually born and bred in Harborne. I moved to Coventry when I met my other half. So I've been over here about 19 years, not a million miles away.
Yeah.
So I moved over to Cov in 2006, 2007. But yeah, I've had a season ticket many years. My dad was a blue nose. His brothers, my uncles, big Blues family, all in Harborne and Sturchley. So yeah, it's just not many Blues fans where I'm in Coventry, but there's a few that but. Yeah, it's just down the road, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
But, it's
That's sorry, Paul. Just to go back because I had a slight memory loss, but we all have senior moments, don't we? But you did ask me about the change at Blues. The one thing, and I think Claire hinted on it as well, is just the calibre of people that are coming into the club. We've just taken on an in-house lawyer, Rod, who's a fantastic CV. The management team, Gary Cook's CV is unbelievable. If you see some of the companies he's worked for, Mark Rokenshaw, I think he did a spell with Apple. Jeremy Dale, obviously, was with Microsoft, and these are people you just dreamed of coming in, really, and that their vision is unbelievable for the club. It's. I think the only thing I would say sometimes I just want to throw a bucket of cold water over them, really, calm them down a bit. But that's a lovely criticism, really, And the other thing is, I think you said about more recognition for the show, but I'm sure that will come with all the work you're doing. And I'll certainly, I've been plugging you regularly. I've been telling Gary, Jeremy, and John Clark all about it. So I think the problem is that they've always got about 100 projects on the go, and I'm sure that they'll get round to it. Really.
Fantastic. Yeah. Questions, obviously, for Mike. Do put them on the shout box, and we'll get to comments shortly. But first brilliant question for you for the night, Mike. I've got to say this is brilliant from Nigel Mann. He said, Mike, have you got two other brothers, especially this time of year? Have you got two other brothers, especially this time of year? Three wise men in it.
Absolutely. None that I know of, but you never know these days, do you?
Oh dear. But yeah, just comments in. Craig, have we got any questions for Mike yet at all, or any comments worth shouting out?
Yeah, there was one question that came on early doors, which is many years of supporting the club. Yeah. But if you could name just one time that stands out as the most memorable at the moment, what would it be and why?
Well, I think it's got to be Wembley, hasn't it? We're beating Arsenal that day. Really, it was just surreal, wasn't it? Really, I think I always say that moment of silence before Martin scored, because I don't think any of us could really believe it was happening, could we? And then it just you were waiting for the ref to point, and boom, it was an explosion. But I think that's I think just from a personal point of view, I think from a success, my proudest moment of being a Birmingham City fan was when we played away at Bruges. If you went to that game, but we had the most lovely letter from a Belgian fan telling, I think his name was Stielemans, and he was a young player who's destined for real stardom. He was tragically killed in a car crash, and I think he was number 22, if I remember. I might have got one or two things right. But anyhow, what they used to do was in the 22nd minutes or whatever, whatever his squad number was, all the Bruges fans used to applaud. And this fan, he wrote lovely. He said, in every away team that comes, boos and hisses. And he said it would be just so lovely if one team joined in. So social media wasn't quite where it was today, but we really did our best. I think we were using a website. We put the message around, and I must say, well, that session in the square was quite notorious, wasn't it? I remember I was going around with a big cigar and enjoying myself, and kind of got round as many people as we could to just say if you can. And anyhow, it happened in the 22nd minute, and all the following that night was just phenomenal, and everybody joined in. And I'd actually warned their officials. I said, look, no promises, but we're going to have a go. We've tried to, do this. And when I came in at half time, their chairman, they're in tears. They couldn't believe it. And if you remember, they started singing "We Love You, Birmingham," and that's really what started that wonderful friendship on. And then there was the amount of Belgian fans who posted videos of us celebrating at the end, saying "well done." And it was. And the other thing, they were going to shut all the bars afterwards because it was the first. I think it was the first big English following since the Hay Cell. And I've been at lunch with the chief of police and various officials, and then they just opened all the bars and everything, and it was just a fabulous night. And I think sometimes there's more than football, isn't there? Really, and that was just wonderful.
I think you still owe me a drink, Mike, from that night. Anyway.
Sorry, boss. Yeah. Probably do actually.
Tell us how you celebrated beating Arsenal at Wembley. What did you do after that?
That was we just came home. I think it ended up in the local. Really, it didn't stay in London. I think I don't know, mentally shattered. Really, I remember going to the motorway service station and embracing loads of people and everything. But it was it took a bit of sinking in, didn't it? Really, just done it. I think the mindset was just to go down and have a really good day out and just enjoy ourselves.
Yeah.
The one funny thing was that I had to laugh with the Chinese. There was an official luncheon, and I was there, and they were late for it.
Oh no!
I had to get up and give a speech for the club with people present, which is quite funny. I think Carson and his troops turned up about half an hour before kick-off.
Yeah.
I think etiquette wasn't quite their thing,
Yeah, well, I still can't believe it happened now, to be honest.
Yeah, no.
It's still hard to get your head around it now, isn't it?
Yeah.
We were well worth it, though, on the day, weren't we? We were the better side.
Oh, yeah. It should have been a penalty early on with Lee Bowie, if you remember. And
Esney as well.
And Ben Foster, what a game he had. He was magnificent, wasn't he? Just tremendous.
Yeah, every single player out there did a brilliant. They all had at least an 8 out of 10, every single one of them.
Oh, incredible!
So great, great day. So, Mike, we asked you to do your 1 to 11, obviously, in your lifetime so far, and we've got a bit of a. Obviously, we're just adding a bit of a twist to it, are you? Yeah. So you want it to be like local players and adopted Brummies, yeah?
Yeah. If I just thought probably a lot of the same names, but it was really tricky. I was at a former players meeting this morning, and we were talking about some players love coming back, others you really struggle to get back, and some, to be fair, played for like 2 or 3 clubs, and perhaps we're not that special, but there's certain players that who just love the club, and. The perfect example of what I'm saying is probably somebody like Robert Hopkins, for example. I saw him at the game on Saturday. I believe he goes to away matches as well.
Yeah.
Born and bred Brummie, a fan, and played for us at a very difficult time as well, and did well. But somebody who loves, and also I think my other big involvement is University College Birmingham and I think somebody who loves the city as well, because I think we're all proud Brummies, aren't we, as well as proud of the football team. And I think that's what attracted Tom Wagner as well. But apart from the football team, the city, and the fact we got the name, which is what we love. So, but I started off. So do tell me to shut up if I'm going on too much. But the spine, goalkeeper, quite an interesting one. I tended to be ambassadorial in my role at the club, looking after people. I had the chance to have a good chat with Sir Alex Ferguson recently at the Peterborough match when because he tends to follow his son around, and so I went along with I found the best bottle of red wine I could, took it over for him, gave me a few tots, and I was fascinated because I knew he really liked us because both Steve Bruce and Alex McLeish were very close to him, and they both rang him up before offering the job, and he said, "Oh, proper football club, Birmingham, you must take the job." And I thought, well, that it was lovely really for him to say that. Although I don't think we got much off him point wise, but anyhow, that's another story. But so I just got talking to him, and what had happened was when he was a youngster, things were very hard. I think his dad worked in the shipyards in Govan and got made redundant. Couldn't find any work, so he ended up coming down to Birmingham, working at the BSA factory for a couple of years, just to earn some money to support a young family. And he adopted the Blues as his team. And when he went back to Scotland eventually, and Alex was old enough, one of the first games he ever took him to was a Scotland-England game at Hampden Park. And the prime reason he took him was he wanted to see Gil Merrick. He said, "This is the best goalkeeper I've ever seen. He's fantastic." And, so Alex wasn't disappointed. He said he thought he was fantastic. So I thought, well, that's praise indeed. So I'm going to go for Gil in goal, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I sat next to Joe Gallagher on Saturday as well. And, what a legend he is. He came from Liverpool, worked at Land Rover. He's been a fantastic ambassador at the club. So I'd love to see him again. I think we've got to get Jude in the side because, I'm sure he'd love to stay, but obviously from his point of view, career-wise and where the club was, but he's local, but also I think the money we got for him kept us alive, really. So we always owe him big stars. So, and then up front, I think I'd have Trevor as well because I think we can definitely call him an adopted Brummie because he flat in Solihull and everything. So that would be my spine. Right back, there's a few candidates there. I'm probably again a bit biased. Malcolm Page because I watched him play. He was a Welsh international. And he's somebody who's lived here, always a member of my golf club, Alton Golf Club as well. So, but there's a lot of other good. Ian Clarkson's probably another very good contender. The other centre half, I'll probably again being a bit biased with the FPL. I'll go for Kevin Broadhurst because he and Tom Ross set up the Former Players Association about 31 years ago, and they've just done an amazing job. And I think we're the envy, even through the darkest days. We've kept it. Well, I've been privileged to be on the committee, but we've kept it going. And Kevin's done an incredible job. And for that alone, really, I'd love to see him in the side because he's shown his love for the club. Left back's a difficult one. I'm a bit tempted towards Paul Robinson, really, because I know you've had him on the show, and he's when Millwall came a few seasons ago, we drew 1-1. I don't know if you remember, they scored a goal which was disallowed, thank God, because it was a corner and the guy volleyed it. And I actually thought it was an amazing goal, but I think it just took a nick off a player to be disallowed for offside. And I just texted him afterwards. I said, I probably feel a bit unlucky not to have won. And he said, no, not at all. He said, I'd just far rather have been on the other bench. And, that says it all, doesn't it, really? Gary Pendry would be another one I'd go for as well because he's local. To partner Jude in midfield, I think Darren Carter's goal. I was with Darren this morning as well at the meeting, but that goal at Wembley Cardiff was just amazing, that penalty. And I sat next to the referee's wife, so I had to behave myself. I had to watch the P's and Q's. When it came to that, and she was a lovely lady, and she said to me, "Excuse me," I said, "I'm a bit confused." She said, "If this guy scores that penalty," she said, "what happens?" I said, "Well, you see that stanchion about 50 yards up there?" I said, "My head's going to hit it." He slotted it. So that I think was for him was a fantastic moment. I said I've mentioned Hoppy. I'd love to try and get Paul Devlin in somewhere as well because he's a wonderful servant and he's a great ambassador for the club. The other one I'd like to give a mention to is Craig Gardner because apart from being a great player and doing an amazing, he works his socks off as technical director. He really more than anybody else I think got this deal to go through because. Even with I never really had much contact with the Chinese, especially the hierarchy, but Craig did have access to them. And I think he was the one that persuaded them to sell. And also he was friendly with Jeremy Dale as well, who came in and did a magnificent job, due diligence. So I'd like to try and fit him if I could. Up front, we're sport for choice. We've got Trevor. This one might be a bit more controversial. So I'm a member at Alton Golf Club, and we've got Keith Birch in, who's probably another one I'll put on the bench as well. and Malcolm Page as members. And recently we've had, well, I don't know how to say this, we've had Lee Hendry and Gareth Barry join, who I must say are great lads. They take the banter really well, but of course it was 2-2. I argued I got the casting vote, so we're still a Blues football club. But Troy's just joined Arton Golf Club to make it 3-2. So he's in my good books. And I just loved, talk about the other load. We saw flashes of him, but obviously the end of his career. But I thought he did some pretty amazing things at the other place. So, I'll be open to Bob Latchford's another contender, and Bob Hatton as well. So
Mick Harford, well, Mike, Mick Harford.
Yeah, well, he was on our golf trip, and he's an amazing character, and I still remember that goal at Coventry when Ian Handysides put it over. If you remember that header, which kept us up. Manager, I think we've got to go for Barry, because I don't know if any of you were at Peterborough. It was a disastrous game. We lost 3-0, but he conducted the fans. Even though he's director of football at Peterborough, he came out to direct all the Blues fans singing "Keep Right On." So I think we've got to say he's got a lot of love. I'd love to get Tom involved, Tom Ross, media advisor or something, because his passion is unbelievable for the club. I think entertainment's officer. I think we'd have Jasper, because he's always got a good story to tell. And I think we've got to look at the female side, the way how well the female side. So I don't know. I was thinking women's development coach Karen Carney, because she was recently on the telly, and she doesn't hide the fact she's a big Birmingham fan. So
good on the telly. She's very good on the TV as well. Yeah. And that's a good segue, Mike, to Craig, to just obviously talk about the women's game yesterday. It was 0-0, wasn't it, at home to Charlton?
Yeah, it was very tough. Very tough game to take almost. Was you the best way to do it.
You there, yeah?
Yeah, I was there. Yeah. It was, Charlton set the story, and to be honest, the Charlton side is probably a bogey team, the best way to describe it for the Birmingham ladies. We very rarely get results against them. They set their stall out very early, which was basically, we might get a chance at going forwards, but we're going to stop you every way possible from getting anywhere near our goal. And that was the situation. It seemed as though every time we went forwards, there was not 2, but 3 players looking and just making sure that nothing was going to get past. So a frustrating game, but on the opposite side, with it being Blue Nose Day, what was fantastic was seeing the numbers of families that were there to watch the game. And I've said it before, it's a different atmosphere to the men's. It is a family-orientated game. Now, it's just a shame there's such a massive gap between games. So we don't actually see Birmingham ladies play at St Andrews now until the end of January, because of the way things fall and the break that they have. But yes, we didn't get the win we wanted, but we're top of the table at Christmas, which is always a huge bonus. The ladies are only getting better, because there were times yesterday where they arguably played some absolute brilliant football, and probably, and I think Amy said it herself actually to me after the game, was frustrating. Times they played the best football they've seen all season. And it's going to be the same for the ladies as it is for the men's. A team is going to take a tanking, and hopefully it comes sooner rather than later. But again, to go back to it, let's get more people down there. There was just over 1,700 there for the game yesterday. Nice, considering just before Christmas and additional outlay and stuff. So it was good from that front. But also, it's not expensive to go. A season ticket for a child now is only £6, and that's all the rest of the games for the rest of the season. And for an adult, 36. Instead of paying £10 a game, which is what it would be for an adult and a child, you're getting it for £7. So if we can, let's get more people down to St Andrews. These games across the next part of the season are key. This is going to be the difference between a team, again, getting disappointed, or a team celebrating, which hopefully they will be, getting that only spot into the Women's Premier League. And it's one spot. So get people down there, support the ladies, get behind them. They're a great bunch. They do fantastic things for the families. The whole day is a superb event. And hopefully, like I say, come March, April time next year, we're going to be celebrating, for me, a double promotion. And that's what I want to do. I want to be there to see Birmingham getting their title for the men's and getting promoted. And I want to be there to see the ladies lift the title as well and getting themselves back to the Super League. But Mike, you touched on some of the work that Karen Carney does.
Yeah.
But overall, I've got to say, Hope Pell and what she has done for the ladies' game, Amy Merrick's coming in as a fresh coach. You know, this is her first proper role, really, in terms of being in touch and in charge of a team for a while. They're doing a brilliant job. And that, again, also comes down to the owners and what they have invested into the women's game. Because if we'd have still got the Chinese ownership, we would have no ladies' team now.
Oh, no.
They would have folded. There would have been another Reading.
Yeah.
And it would have been a huge disappointment. Whereas now we've got players down there that are fighting, want to get the promotion. And I know I've seen you, I saw you down there yesterday, and I know you're down there quite often as well. It's such a big difference, isn't it?
Oh, I think we just need that little bit of more finesse up front, don't we? Really, we play great football, but we just haven't quite got that killer instinct. We did at the start of the season, didn't we? Because we put 5 past Sunderland, but it's just I just get the feeling they keep trying to walk the ball in a bit, really, rather than having shots.
They do want the perfect goal. I think I summed that up a couple of times yesterday with Liv. Was have a strike on goal, because it doesn't matter; it might deflect and just go into the bottom corner. But we actually the men's team are quite guilty of that at the moment as well. You know? We just try for the perfect goal all the time. But it's going to come, and nice to go into this break now being top of the league. And I know they did have a really disappointing result in the League Cup during the midweek. But the thing for me was what we saw was a team that came back out fighting. They were not going to let that get to them. No. The youngsters that played in that League Cup game learnt a lot. But also it shows the gulf between what is the Women's Super League and the Championship. And we are still building to get there. So the first 20 minutes, we were actually ahead, and we held a very good team in Leicester. But and in fact, that Leicester team beat league leaders at the weekend. So it's there's a lot to learn, but I have faith in Hope and Amy and the team getting that together. And I'd like to wish our assistant coach all the best with her new role. She has now moved on, but we have new people coming in. And, that was the best part. It was like one person leaving, replacement in straight away. We would never have had that in the past. So it shows how much people are taking us as a club serious as well now. Yeah, definitely.
Good atmosphere there as well, wasn't there, Craig?
There was. Do you know, people complain about the drum.
Birmingham, at the end.
The drum worked. It was, and that goes out to Linda and the team from Redditch Blues who have been working on getting these different things together and building the atmosphere with Barry and the team as well. So now it was nice to hear the kids enjoying themselves so much. And like I said at the beginning, to see 2 lads walking in and going, wow, look at this stadium. This is our first ever game. But then also, again, hearing people coming out, we're going back. We want to come again. That's the thing. Like I said at the beginning, you get it once and the blue blood doesn't disappear. And the kids are our future. So, more the merrier.
Fantastic. Right. We're going to do a Christmas special last 15 in 10 minutes. So in that 10 minutes, Chris, are we okay to do the 2 fun games, the Who and the he doesn't play for Barnet, but here's his Barnet?
Yeah, should we do that first? As I've got it lined up, I'm not going to sing the song either. I'm just going to... here we go. If I don't think anybody's going to get both of these. You might get one, but I don't think anybody's going to get both of them. But here we go.
The challenge is set.
The challenge is set. So if anybody knows...
Someone hold it up to the camera so Mike can see as well. Is that all right? And we can all see, that those of us that can't see can see.
All right.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I'm going to...
Another one on the left.
Yeah,
Don't say. You think,
I won't say.
You think you got the one on the left, number 1?
Yeah.
I think I got the one on the right as well.
Oh, for God's sake.
But I won't say anything. Mike, what do you think?
Didn't really get a good view, I'm afraid. So
Claire, turn your phone round and you get it landscape, then it'll be bigger, hopefully.
Yeah, Mr. Meredith, I agree with that, by the way.
Yeah.
I haven't seen what you put.
You just put that on the chat, have you?
Put it on the Zoom chat.
Oh, right, okay. You might be wrong, you might be right.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, you know,
Ian Clayton has gone for Stephen Kelly and Jonathan Grimes.
completely wrong.
Dennis Bohemia said he's number 2, Jack Butland.
Completely wrong.
PW is Blue on YouTube has said Keith Fahey and Michael Morrison.
Completely wrong. Completely. Oh, sorry.
So what are the rules?
Somebody prod him then.
I was going to say he's just suddenly woke up. You know.
What's this? What year is it? What game is this?
They played for Blues and Barnet. What?
Yes, definitely agree with number 2, Mr. Hipkiss.
You think so?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anybody on YouTube? No.
I think you've. So Graham has said, is it Bentner and number 2?
Nope. And nobody on YouTube has got it either.
Wow, you got them, Chris.
We get it on the chat. None of us get it on the chat, Chrissy.
I'm not going to look.
Dennis, it's definitely not me as number 1, and no, it's way, way, way better looking for it to be Rovers number 2.
I'm with you there.
See, I can't.
I said that. I thought that. I didn't say it, obviously, but I thought that.
John to you.
Pete
Jerry Gill. Ian Clayton has said he's number 1, Jerry Gill.
No.
Pete Taylor, Liam Ridgewell, and the little guy in midfield whose name has completely gone.
Did Barry Fry sign him? You know, was it one of those?
Fry signings for sure.
Oh, I'm not sure about the one.
Oh, Clifton, and Andy Bonar said Clifton Bell.
Nope.
No.
Wrong.
Max Colin as number 1.
Completely wrong.
Wow.
Ooh.
Pete Taylor has said, is it Ridgewell and Wade Elliott?
No. I can see
Wade,
the Wade Elliott. No, it's not in there.
It's not Wade Elliott.
No, it's not.
And it's not Jack.
So is it Jason Hughes said, is it Marcus Painter and Jack Butland?
Nope.
Can we guess yet?
No.
Is it? Oh, we can't guess. Can't go.
Well, not yet.
Okay.
Michael Wood said it looks like Gary Speed and David Beckham.
I want to get the who in as well before.
Okay. So have you given up then? Everybody given up?
Is the left Brian Hughes?
No, it is not.
Is it Damian Johnson?
No, it is not.
Darren Carter.
No, it is not.
Wow.
Is number 1 Barry Ferguson?
No, I've got you. I've got you all.
Frank Quadro.
To be honest.
Oh my God.
Don't go yet.
Come on. Have you given up?
Hold on. Give positions.
No.
Go on, number 1's position.
Forward line.
Number 1's forward line.
Lee Bradbury.
No, you're not going to get it.
Is it like a fringe player, or is it someone who's made like a lot of appearances?
It did not make a lot of appearances. No. I
thought number 2, is it a young Duke?
No.
And there it is, that's as good as it gets on this stage. Nissan Townstar EV strikes again. It's an unstoppable van, unstoppable.
Look, just fantastic. You can actually see the Pro Pilot technology in action. Effortless parallel parking.
It moves with all the confidence that comes with a 5-year warranty.
And with a bench full of all-star van experts, there's real strength in depth here.
That's all-star quality.
Search Nissan Townstar EV and visit your local all-star van centre to see for yourself.
Terms and conditions apply. 5 years or 100,000 miles, whichever comes first.
ProPilot is an advanced driver assist technology. Driver's responsibility to stay alert, drive safely, and control vehicle at all times.
Chris Holland for Mark Brooks?
No.
Howard Forrington?
No.
Tony Hay?
That's a good effort there for me and Clayton. Robbie Blake?
No.
Gary Ball?
Tony Hay?
No.
Mike Wiseman?
No.
Already played one.
Anders Limpar?
No.
No.
What sort of years are they? What?
Oh, number one, probably early 90s.
Early 90s.
Early 90s.
I've got no chance, have I?
Oh.
Come on.
Here we go. I wasn't born then.
Yeah.
I was simply a twinkle in my mum's eye. Yeah, we know, Claire. Keep rubbing it.
I was only 5'4".
That's Jeff Horsfield, isn't it?
I think it was later than that. No, Jeff Olsen.
Early 90s. Darren Rowbottom.
Might have been later than that, actually. I'm thinking about
Darren Rowbottom. Is it?
No.
Do you know, I actually thought that was one of them then.
I'll give up.
Okay.
Don't give up yet, Paul.
Number
one. We've got that much more time. We've got to do the Who yet.
Number one is Chris Sutton.
Oh, wow. Mid-2000s, not early 90s.
Yeah, you've done it there.
He still wouldn't have got it.
No.
Okay. Number two.
What position?
Charlie.
Lakin.
Hold on. You got
Charlie Lakin. That was. I like it when they're hard.
That was a good one. Good one.
It's,
you got to claim that one this week.
Yeah, because not one person on the shout box got them.
No.
We've had Nicky Forster come in. We've had Anderson come in. We've had Nigel Mann seems to think it was Andy Murray. You're definitely watching the live show, Nigel.
Yeah, that's a different show, isn't it?
It's took all these shows to actually get it.
Yeah. Go on then, hit us with the Who then, Chris. We've got to get...
So stand by your beds.
He's a former guest.
He is actually, yeah. Yeah, we have had him on, yeah. I forgot about that, yeah. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do it quick because I think this one's quite easy. Not that one.
Oh, no.
That's the...
That was Rove's music when he does his shopping.
That's the... Go on again. Here we go.
It's always someone else's fault, isn't it? Like that's sort of his mentality.
Oh, is that?
I got it.
I think I know that one.
Okay, let's just see if anybody on the show box gets it. So.
What do you think, Mike? Mike, any ideas?
I'm afraid not. I'll probably need another listen, really. Just
okay. Here we go.
It's always someone else's fault, isn't it? Like that's sort of his mentality, and that was someone was.
Oh.
I don't know whether it's my Facebook because it's really slow. Nobody seems to have said anything yet.
Oh no, they're all stumped, aren't they? It's the same on YouTube as well. Yeah, no one's.
But we've never ever done anything before where no one's actually got it after like 5-10 minutes. It's yeah, and I'm pleased about that. To be fair,
I think he's made it too hard. I think he was
too easy or too.
In Clayton said David Davis.
No.
I remember somebody saying that, but I can't lie. The voice doesn't help me at all.
Are we allowed to have a guest? Yeah, or we let people have a guest?
Come on then. Okay.
Was it Cameron Jerome?
Cameron Jerome.
Well done.
Jerome, yeah.
Do you know what? Dennis Bohemia has actually just said if Robe has it right, then he's bunging £50 into the Solio OSC fund.
There you go. I've got it right.
Thank you very much, Dennis.
Happy to help.
That's Robe charity work again. Look,
we're entering our last 15 and our Christmas special last 15. We don't do very many last 15s now, but I thought because it's Christmas, we should. So I want anything to do with football and Christmas films.
Oh.
So football and Christmas films. And being as though it was Cameron Jerome, I'll start us off with Jerome Alone.
Very good. Very good.
I better get the sound effects ready, hadn't I?
You've seen this before, Mike, the last 15 when we do like word association?
I have, yes. I'm afraid I'm not very good at this, but then I'll try.
I'll go with Chris White Christmas then.
That's a good one. Isn't that
Chris White Christmas?
Is that a film or a song?
It's a film
as well.
Brian Top Gun. I'm going Brian Top Gun.
But since when's Top Gun been a Christmas film?
Always.
Always on at Christmas.
Always.
Oh, here's one for the shout box then. Is Die Hard a Christmas film? Yes or no? Let's just put that one out there.
Yeah, it is.
Nigel Mann said, can he have Rooney? i.e. Shrek.
Oh, it's a good one on YouTube. Die Hard.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Good one from Mark Brooks as well, but I don't think we can say it.
It's a special Christmas film, that one is.
Alfie Haaland.
Probably worked better on Boxing Day, that one.
Can I have Alfie Haaland?
Alfie Haaland.
I suppose you could.
I suppose, yeah.
It's right.
Oh, just to say, the best one will get a new Christmas mug, Tilton Talk Christmas mug as well. But it's up to the panel to choose the winner. So
Nigel Mann said he's having Oliver Teberley.
What about planes, trains, and automobiles?
Is that a Christmas film?
John Frayne.
But is it a Christmas film?
Well, it's about trying to get home from Christmas, yeah.
Yeah. Planes, trains, and automobiles.
Come on, Claire. I was backing you here, Claire. I thought you'd be reading them off.
Oh, Jason Hughes. That's very, very, very clever. He's gone with the Polar Expressien.
Like it. That's clever.
That's very, very good.
Christmas, Gary. The first Noel, Blake.
That's good as well. We like that.
Robalone.
Who was that?
That's the best right there.
Who was that from?
Dennis, who else?
Yeah.
Kobe Arthur Christmas from Jason Hughes.
Not bad at all.
Peter on Love, actually.
That's a good one.
As Jason Hughes is definitely on form this evening. I think he's Googling Christmas movies and trying to put players to him now.
He was a great player, he was, when Peter Unlove. I loved him, Mike. Did you like watching him, Peter Unlove?
Very good. Good player.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, fantastic, wasn't he?
No, you never knew what he was going to do next, did you, really?
No, he was funny with the ball at his feet, running at people. He was brilliant. Loved him.
How is he now? Because didn't he have a bad car crash or...
Yeah, he's sadly he's lost his brother, didn't he? Now?
Died. Yeah.
But I think he's okay now. Yeah, I think he's recovered.
Yeah.
Thankfully. So, but yeah, sadly his brother didn't survive.
On YouTube,
Jingle all the Alfie May.
Jingle all the Alfie May.
Lazaridus, the Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz isn't a Christmas film. Oh, that one's pushing the boundaries now. Jeez.
Yeah.
Dealey had a Christmas film from Ian Clayton.
I've been waiting all night for the Dealey one.
I'll just put out there, I'm going to call my Christmas film Carson Young, i.e. Scrooge.
No.
The Three Wise Men.
I was going to go for it. It's a Wonderful St Andrews.
Oh, yeah, that'll do.
Oh,
that's a good one. What about say what Mark said? Groundhog May.
Is that Christmas film?
Christmas movie, mate.
It's on Boxing Day.
Right, National Lampards Christmas Vacation.
That's a good
one.
one.
You can do that.
Zola, Away in a Manager.
Santa Cruz, the movie.
Everyone's just Googling Christmas films because they can only think about five.
Yeah.
And they're all rubbish as well. Oh,
I thought Santa Cruz, the movie, was very good, actually, Chris.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, I suppose. Yeah. Nothing has really floated my boat yet.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
That's a good one.
That was from me, by the way. Nobody said that.
Well done.
What about an Endoy called Christmas?
Yeah.
Ding Dong, Merrily on High.
Is that a film?
Think about it. Oh, no, I suppose it's not a film, is it, really? It's more a song. We change the rules.
If it's getting tough, then change it to songs for the last few minutes.
You can wish. Yeah, no. White Chris Davis. It's quite hard to say.
Can we go for Love and Krantz, actually?
Love and Krantz,
actually, yeah. Yes, we like that one as well.
Oh, good one.
Candy Cane Lane. Don't even need to change the name of that one.
Yeah.
Or Candy Frayne Lane, if you want to be blues related again. Frayne's got in again.
Oh, I thought we shouted this one out, but I've been told off for not shouting it out. Alf Inga Haaland.
Oh, I thought we'd said that.
Did we say that?
I thought we had said
I thought we said that first, yeah.
You didn't like it?
No.
Come on, Claire. Can't you think of one, Claire?
I'm not very good with films. Give me anything Christmas or...
Humbug.
No, I don't really... Yeah.
The Grinch, Claire.
But But yeah, Mike, appreciate you taking your time tonight, mate, to join us. And
been a pleasure.
Yeah, and any other funny stories you can quickly tell us before we finish? From behind the scenes, or unfunny or even unfunny stories are fine as well.
Actually, I've got one question for Mike. It's coming, and it's
all right.
What makes you proud the most to be a Birmingham fan? And it's a tough question, that is.
I think it's all down to the fans, really. I just, feel privileged to have met so many special people over the years, really, who've followed the club. And it's just quite incredible. With, Rob Dorset on Sky, he's a big Blues fan. Chris Scudder, and right down to, ordinary people, it doesn't matter. I think the image of the club, really, we've always had a lovely, well, dare I say, a working class image. We've been a people's club, and I'm sure we'll keep that as well.
Rob Dorset's a Blues fan, is he? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Is he?
I didn't know that.
Well, I didn't know that either. No, he's the guy who mainly reports on England, isn't he? On Sky.
That's it. Yeah. Oh no, he's a Blue Nose now. So you'd be amazed how many there are around, really. And as I say, it's been fabulous over the years. Very social, but going on the golf trip, when about 100 of us went out to Spain, or were in the tops and everything. And there's even in the darkest days, the club still had a great identity, and still always been proud to be involved, really. But made by the likes of yourselves, really, great people who follow the club, and also, understand that, well, the lows and highs, and it's and as I said before, you guys have been tremendous, even in the dark days. You've always been positive and, put out a good message, really, to keep us all believing, really.
We're going to our 15th year. Yeah. 15 years doing this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
a few more films have come in. Ian Clayton said, can he just say Lethal Weapon starring Jay Stansfield? Andrew Maxka could well have done it with Tony, All I Want for Christmas is Blues.
That's a good one.
Crawley, right?
Oh, yeah, prediction. Yeah, thanks for that, Mark. So Crawley away a week tonight, isn't it?
We've got a few to do, really. We've got to do over Christmas as well, haven't we?
Wow.
Go on then, 2 minutes.
I can't remember.
Boxing Day.
I can't do 5 games. I'll do the next 2. So I'll go for Monday and Boxing Day. I think we'll win 2-0 on Monday at Crawley, and I think we'll win 3-0 on Boxing Day against Burton Albion. We owe them 1. That's me. Alan?
I'll go with you on the 3-0 Burton. As much as I know about Crawley as being one of my local teams, if we don't get more than 3 goals against them, I'll be very, very sad. So I'll say 4.
Oh, nice. Are you going?
I can't. I'm in Birmingham that night.
How ironic is that?
Wow. How ironic, yeah.
Mark Meredith?
I'm just going to go with a little 1-0 for the Crawley game, and then I'm going to go with you 3-0 against Burton.
Okay. Mike?
I think 3-1 at Crawley. I think they've got a few goals recently, so I think they might have a goal in them, but hopefully it'll be comfortable. I'll go for 3-0 as well against Burton.
Okay. Are you going to both, I guess?
I can't make Crawley, but I'll do all the others. Stockport's the one, because after New Year's Eve celebrations, but I intend to be there, so it'll probably be a little bit the worse for wear, I think. But
Claire,
I'll take 3-1 Crawley and 3-0 Burton, and yes, I am going next week, and it's going to be far.
Oh, well done.
Right.
I'm going to say 1-0 against Crawley, and I think we'll smash Burton 5-1.
Wow. Okay, that'll do me. Craig?
I'm getting actually quite close to Robe's prediction here, apart from the fact I'm going to go with 2-0 at Crawley, but I fancy us for 5-0 against Burton. I just think I'm sticking to my guns. I've said Boxing Day will be the day that we spank a team, and I think it will be then.
Okay.
The message board, Dom Kavanagh has said it's going to be 2-1 at Crawley, 2-0 against Burton. Nigel Mann is saying 2-0 on Boxing Day, 6-0. Hey, Craig. No, I'm not going for 6. I'll stick with my 5. Then we've also got Ian Clayton saying it'll be 4-1 Blues against Crawley. Michael Woods has just simply said, don't matter about the score, Blues are going to win them all. And that's all we've got coming through at the moment on the It's very quiet.
Chris, give us your predictions, mate.
I was only going to go for 2-0 till I heard what the the chairman said. So I'm going to go for a 5-1 and a 5-0. How about that?
Wow.
Hey, Chris, you get naked again, Chris, on 6.
Oh, I don't know.
You see that show, Mike, when he was naked?
I did, yes. Very brave.
We'll have to think of a forfeit if they get more than 6.
Yeah.
Can we have it by clear goals? 6 clear goals.
It's cheating,
Well, you have to think of something.
Either way, it's going to be a Christmas cracker.
I think that's a wrap now.
Not a cracker.
Is that a wrap now, Chris?
That's a wrap.
Okay, so thanks everyone for watching, and thanks, Mike, for your time. I've been Paul Hipkiss. It's good night from me, and it's good night from Mark Meredith.
It's a good night from me. Merry Christmas to everybody, and it's a good night from The Robe.
Good night from me, and I hope everyone has a nice Christmas and Happy New Year. And I'll pass you over to Claire. Good night.
Good night from me. Merry Christmas, everyone. Have a good New Year. 5 games in 13 days. We can do this. And it's good night from Craig Courtney.
It's good night from me. It's a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to everybody. And dare to dream 15 points over Christmas.
Well, yeah.
Why not? And over to the chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Fixer. Yeah, so Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to everybody. And it's good night from me. And it's over to Chris.
And it's good night from me. And thank you for all your support during 2024. And it's over to Mike Wiseman.
Thank you. Well, first of all, thanks again for having me on the show. It's been a real pleasure being with you all. And Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy New Year. And here's to plenty of good results and plenty of goals.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Keep right on and have a good one.
The TalkSport Fan Network is proud to be partnering with Lotto from the National Lottery. Make this Wednesday one to remember. You've got to be in it to win it. Lotto is the original millionaire maker, where you could become the next millionaire. Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
At BetMGM, we know how to put on a show. So we don't just do offers, we do golden offers like this.
MGM Millions, our supersized jackpot where right now you could win over £21 million.
Get ready for the golden era in online casino. BetMGM, it's showtime.
Minimum 10p game stake. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly.
This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.